Hello and welcome to my van. Now, a lot of you that follow me and have been following me for a long time, you know I've had this van for quite some time. I've had it for at least a year with the bed and stuff in it. I made my own bed and things. It was down this side and we used to work in it, and I actually made a little video in at least last year showing how we got by in my day van. We had the awning on the side, which I'd mentioned the awning before, and yeah, we've had it converted. We've spent a bit of money on it, and it's all my own money. As I sold my house, I think I'm sure I've mentioned this in before, when I moved in with Denise a few years ago, well, many years ago now, I rented my house out, and in the end I decided to sell it, and this is what's paid for my van and paid for my conversion. It's a Ford Tourneo, or it was a Ford Tourneo custom. I took all the seats out, got rid of all the seats and all the lining and stuff like that, and sold all that separately, which was quite nice. So yeah, I managed to get a van with windows all the way around, which was one of the things I wanted originally, because I was going to have a day van. So we've got windows everywhere, and they're all standard windows, which is quite nice. But yeah, we had it converted. Why did we have it converted? We had it converted because it was a bit more homely and easier to use. As you can see, we've got a sink. We've got a sink unit, which is nice. Water's fed from the pump on here. We've also got a cooking unit, so we've got 2 rings there. That's fed by the gas in the back. So it just makes cooking and eating a lot easier. Now, yes, you can see there's a grill here. We've got a grill. I've never used it as yet. The idea to have the grill was we could have bacon and toast and things, but as it is, I haven't even used it yet, and I'm not sure whether I probably will. So it's a bit of a waste of space. I could have had a cupboard in there to store a bit more camera equipment and bits and pieces. But yeah, the grill's quite nice because at least we can have toast and things when we need to. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you around the van, little bits that I've had done, little bits that I've done myself, and just generally show you different parts of the van. So I've got a swivel front seat. You've probably seen the swivel front seat in the past. I'll bring the camera inside in a moment and I'll spin the seat round just so you can see it working. So yeah, we've got the swivel front seat, and we've also got a table. Now I've got my little Osmo in my hand here, so I'm going to try and show you, speak to you and do this at the same time. So what have we got? We've got a tabletop here. It's attached to the back of the seat. It's only attached with a couple of straps. It's fine, it sits there just quite nicely, and it doesn't do any harm with it being there. Like I say, this is the front seat, this is the swivel front seat, and I probably could actually show you the seat turning while I'm here. I've got a little latch down here on the side, and I can pull the little latch and spin the front seat, and that spins right the way round. What I've got to do is I've got to move it forward first because it won't go round. So we get hold of the seat and we literally spin it right round, and it comes all the way round until it gets facing forwards, and when it's facing forwards you're in position. So it's really nice. This is all my window coverings. I've got thermal window coverings that go on the front windscreens and both the side windscreens. So yeah, the front seat is a really good option to have it fitted, and all you do is you spin it back in and you pull the seat back into position. So it really is as simple as that, and my slippers live just there. While I'm down here, we've also got this round thing, which is a heating element. The heaters are absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't be about that heater. It's really, really good. And all you've got to do is punch the button on the back there, powered up all the time, hit it again, and the heating comes on. You can adjust the temperature quite easily by turning it up and down. At the moment in here it says it's 9 degrees at the heater and 5 degrees in the van, and then it'll come on there what the temperature is that I want, and it'll show you exactly how it works. So yeah, that's the front seat, that's the heating element. It comes out there and it blows cold air into the van, which is really, really nice. It's a planar heater, and it's all installed underneath the seat, down underneath there, and it's out of sight, out of mind. We've also got a set of sockets. We've got 2 USB sockets just in the back of the seat, and a 12-volt socket at the side there in case you need to stick anything to the cigarette lighter. That's got an independent switch, so I can turn that off and forget it on the back of the panel. We have a fire extinguisher which lives down here, and we've also got inside this little messy cupboard at the moment, we've also got a fire blanket. So if we have a fire, we quickly open it up, chuck it over the top there, and it'll cover it up. While I'm here, I'll talk about these 2 little look like buttons. It's very similar to the locks on the doors. What these do, and I'll show you what it does. Hey, alright. What these do is I pop them out like so, and I've got somewhere to hang my dishcloth or my towel. So that's what we use them for. They both pop out, so I get to use two. And I just thought it was a nice little addition. I actually fitted them myself. And what I'll do as I'm talking, I'll jump to different parts of the video, stop the recording and jump to different parts of the video to show you how I installed them and where I installed them. But yeah, a nice little addition to the van. Also here we've got a silver panel which I manufactured myself. I made it myself, fitted the two switches and a USB socket. And what I've got to do now is I've just got to reach down behind the van, because behind the door of the van, which I can't show you, is down here there is a socket, and if I just switch the socket on, it gives me power. It's basically a kill switch, a dead switch to all the interior power in the van. This gives us power. This is a touch USB socket, as you can see there. Quite a handy little socket. And this is the power to my sink, so that gives me power to the water when I pull the tap on. And I'm not going to, because my kettle's hiding inside there at the moment, which is where it stays, to stop it rattling when I'm driving the van around. So I'm not need to show you that, but that's my power switch. And this one there is an independent switch as well. This one powers a socket that is inside this cupboard, which is where I can plug a little fridge into. I just use that as my junk cupboard. It's where I put my food and my call bag and stuff like that inside this cupboard. But you can power up a fridge. There's a socket in the back, like I say, which is run from there. So again, I've mentioned the grill. The grill's a little bit a waste of time, but it's nice to have, and it gives us a chance to use it if I need to. Probably be good if I'm away for a week. At least if I'm away for a week, I know I've got different varieties of food I can eat rather than just pot noodles. Like I said, the burner. This is the burner. We've got two hob burner with an electric ignition, so that it starts up and fires straight away. The gas isn't turned on, so I'm not going to try and turn that on. Also on the top here I keep a non-slip mat. It just stops things sliding around when I've got them left on the top here, and it also protects the worktop a little bit, but it's all a fitted worktop, which is quite nice. It's all been cut and made to fit around the actual van as well, which is also quite nice. And we kept the original door panels, so everything's been manufactured to make it fit look quite pleasant. So what have we got in here? This is a bit of a junk store. We've got some food, some pots, mats, bin bags, cooking facilities and things like that. Another spare little kettle. So we keep all our sort of bits and junk and cleaning equipment and stuff in that one. And this one here was an added addition. This wasn't in the van originally. This was in the slightly wrong place, so I had it redesigned so I can have a little cupboard in there. And this cupboard is really, really deep, and this is where I keep my toothpaste and toothbrush and some tissues and different pieces and cleaning equipment. It's really quite deep, and it goes a long way back. You can actually reach all the way down inside and right to the side of the van. So it's a cracking little storage device. I've got a knife in there, scissors and baby wipes and all sorts of bits and pieces, but it's just a nice little cupboard. All the cupboards as well are on soft close. As you can see there, they all close nice and softly, so there's no clanking and banging. Up in the top we've got another cupboard. Again, this is a high level cupboard. This one is just big enough to keep me hot chocolate, me biscuits, me chocolate, me cups and cups of cutlery and things like that. Everything's kept nice and safe up the top there. Keep me coffee, so it's just an easy way of get to stuff and get to a cup, just so you can make a brew without having to dig for everything and look underneath. What else have we got in the van? We've got a set of sockets next to the heater. This one, as I was going to say, is now this one has been disconnected. They fitted this in the van. It was a dimmer switch for my lights, but it does nothing. I've just disconnected. I literally disconnected it this morning, and I'll show you all about that in a minute. We've also got a carbon monoxide detector, which is just on Velcro and stuck to the side there. It goes with the fire detector up on the top there that I've got on the roof. So yeah, that's dead at the moment. I'm going to find something else to go over that panel eventually. We've got a set of switches here. We've got our voltmeter, which is reading 13.1 at the moment because we've got solar on the roof and it's actually charging. So we've got our voltmeter. We've got a USB socket again underneath here. So there's our USB socket and a kill switch for it. And I've also made this nice little rubber cap that just covers it up at night time so that you've not got a light in your face. Are you alright?
Hiya.
You've got a nice light in there, and it just covers it up so at night time you don't get any blue light in your face. This one is our upper deck lights, which you can see there. So when the roof goes up, you can actually have lights up in the roof as well, up on the top deck. So that's what that one. This one is for a 12-volt socket, which is quite handy to have a spare 12-volt socket. And then we've got a couple of dead ones which we don't actually use at the moment. This is what I fitted this morning to override this panel there. I've now got a fully fledged CBE dimmer switch, so I turn on the power, as you can see the lights come on, turn on the power there, and then this is a dimmer and it makes it brighter and dimmer, which is quite nice, and I've got a bit of control over the power on that. So that's something I fitted this morning, and again every time I start talking I'll stop and chop you to the video where I've been doing it. And again I've got two more accessory lights here. These used to be on these switches and they were quite awkward to find, so I actually moved them and put them up here. I've got my kitchen lights, which are my two little LEDs that come underneath there. That's for lighting my little kitchen area, so when I'm making a brew and everything I have them on at night, and it's just nice to have them two little LEDs. And next to it I've got my cabin lights, and my cabin lights are two little tiny LEDs on this side of the van and one on this side of the van, and all they do is just give you a little bit of light at night, just enough to be useful. Now we've got a wardrobe area, nice big wardrobe area. This is quite handy. This fits all my cooking. I've got food, I've got a little storage box, I've got a spare blanket in there, spare trousers, juice, some coffee, and plenty of pot noodles and biscuits in the bottom. But I also fitted inside here an extra little switch. And when you switch this switch on, I have a touch sensitive light, so I can actually look for stuff in the dark and dig it out. So I've got my own little touch sensitive light. It is dimmable, not that you need to know that, because I always have it on full power. And then I've fitted my own little switch on the inside. It's just a little kill switch, you can knock it off and away it goes. So that's what we've got inside here. Also we have in here, we have this panel, and behind this panel we've got all the electrics. Now I will stop talking at some point and show you all the electrics. There's loads of electrics under there, loads of modifications I've done as well. And I've got my solar control panel. As you can see, it's 12.8 at the moment. It's taken from solar from the roof. So that's my solar control panel. It's a Ring DC32 or DC30. So that's inside my little wardrobe. Hello, all right. That's inside the little wardrobe area, and yeah, that's basically what we've got built in this side. We've got some stuff in the back, and I'll show you that in a moment. But behind me, we have got some swish cushions. We had to have these no matter what I did. So behind me, we've got another little high-level cupboard. This is where I keep little things like my little mini umbrella. We've got some gloves. We've got my little bracket for watching TV at night, and basically all that does is I just put my phone on it and connect it up. Speakers built in the back, they run off the front of the van. I've also got speakers in the side of the van down here somewhere. Where are we? Down here. We've got speakers in there, and there's also a speaker in the bottom of this cupboard as well. But yeah, it just gives a bit of sound in the back of the van when I'm using the stereo. I've also attached this light. This is another light. It spreads light across the whole van. It's a USB light, and on the side I've got a little USB switch which is connected to a socket in the back of the van. I've got a spare USB down there, so at night time you can plug your phone in it. And what that does is just gives me a nice broad spectrum of light, and it's colour changeable as well. I can dim it right down to a nice warm light. So that's everything inside the van. You've seen me pop the roof up. The roof does go up. I'm not going to put it up again now because I've got videos with it up, and it literally is just a case of pulling the straps out, pushing the roof up, pushing the bed up out of the way, and you can actually sleep a fully fledged person up on the top there, no problems whatsoever. But I don't tend to use the roof a lot at the moment because there's no need to, but it's quite easy to put up and it's very easy to put down. On the back of the seat you can see I've got some storage area, just a strap-on thing on the back there. The table actually clips onto here, which is quite nicely. The table clips on there and it's dead easy to put on and take off. So that's basically everything I've got in my van. Everything works really, really well, and it's nice and customly fit. I've got a leisure battery underneath the front seat. I'll show you images of that as well as I'm going along. The leisure battery's under there. I think it's a 240 amp, something like that. It's quite a big leisure battery, and that's being run from the solar panels on the roof. And I'll show you them now when we head round the back of the van. But I think that's everything that's in the front. I think that's everything I've got in here. Oh, of course, the bed. Oh, there's one other thing as well. We've got an under storage drawer which you can pop out and pull out. That's basically got a great big hefty torch in case we have to bash someone over the head at night. Blanket to go on the bed, and that's just stays there, pushes underneath quite nicely. The bed is just a fold out bed. It's a standard fold out bed. Push it across and pull it out. Something else I've also fitted is a couple of wire meshes on the side, just so you've got somewhere to put reading stuff. And I've got a little side cabinet down there to slide an umbrella in, and my awning windy handle clips on the side. Again, I fitted the little clips to myself, so it just stops it from flopping around and moving around in the van. When I don't like things rattling and noise, so keep my cushions there. All the windows are covered with window blinds, so they slide quite nicely. I don't tend to clip them back, but you can just about see through the back window there. The one on the side door is actually clipped back, and that's so that I can see out the van when I'm driving along. Another addition I've fitted as well, and these have been cut down. Denise has cut all these down to make them stretch, and they fit quite nicely. I've also kept, or managed to keep, the original blackout blinds, so I can keep these nice little blackout blinds just to take a bit of the light away, some of the heat that's coming through the window, so I can have them on. And I've got the additional standard curtains. Now, something else I've actually fitted, when I shut the van door, there's no way of locking it, and what I've built in is this little switch just in here that's connected to the door switch at the front. So when I press it, and it's going to bleep at me because well, I won't press it because there's people coming, it'll set the alarm off. But yeah, when you push the door shut at night, you can just reach in there and lock the door dead easy. I've also fitted these are all on poppers. I fitted all the poppers, and what these basically do, gives you a little bit of privacy. You just slide them across like so. Got one either side, so from on the windscreen side of the van, everything looks through. It's quite dark inside, so you can't see anything. And again, it's on a simple little curtain rail, all with poppers, and all they do is just wrap up like so, put the little pop around it and clip it on. And what I tend to do is just tuck it in the buckle that I keep at the front here. I've left this standard hitching buckle just in case I've got to strap anything out. Keep it down there, and it just keeps it all tidy. There's one on both sides of the van, there's also one this side behind my hat. Something else I've added as well. This is another addition, and I won't be able to do this single-handedly, but here is a collapsible shelf, and I'm going to try and do this with one hand, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. So let's try it. Rumble around. So as you can see here, I've got a collapsible shelf. Just take that off. It goes right down, it folds down, so it now means I've got access to get right through the side of the van, and I can get through and out the other door on the other side of the van, because I've got two doors on this van, so I can get out that side if I don't use it a lot. So what I tend to do is put the shelf up, locks into place, and I've got this nice little non-slip mat that fits on there, and it's quite a nice little addition to the van. I'm actually fitting one more. I'm going to be fitting one to this side, just a small shelf there. It's on its way at the moment, it's in the post, and then when I'm at night and I'm sitting in the bed or sitting on a chair, I can pop it up and somewhere to put my coffee. So there's a little addition there. It will be added to that, and I will add it to this video if it's fitted before I've done. So that's the inside of the van. That's everything we've got inside here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you, no, one more thing. Down here I have two more lights fitted. This one is for floor lights, which you can't see. There's a little red light down there, and the one next to it is a little blue light. The little blue light is for my interior door lights, so I can override them so that when my door's shut, the lights go off, and then when my door's open, the lights come on like they would do inside the car. And what this little switch does down here, it just overrides the power, so I can kill it so it's not on all the time. And like I said, this one here does exactly the same thing, the little red one, and they're floor lights. It gives you a puddle light so you don't step out into puddles, and it's just little LEDs that are underneath. And again, I've done videos, I'll be chopping to them as I go along. And I've also got one this side, and again the switch is somewhere around here, wherever I fitted it, down here, little blue one, and you can see at the top there, the light comes on and goes off. But again, that one stays off most of the time because I don't use it. There is one other switch that I fitted, which is here, or I had fitted, and I've just had to modify it myself. And this one's a little green light, and what this little green light does is switches on the awning light, which is there. And there's an awning light on the outside of the van just to give me a way of seeing outside. So when the awning's up and you can put the light on, it lights up all the outside of the area, all the pathway and everything underneath the awning, which is dead nice. So I'm going to turn this video off like so and I'm going to take you around the back of the van and just show you what's in the back of the van, where the gas bottle is, where my little storage area is, and anything that works from the back. And I'll also show you the solar panels on the roof. I've had the drone out, I've done a little bit of flying for you so you can see different things as I'm going along. I'm only going through it as a bit of a rush because I don't know what it is you're interested in seeing. and most of it you've probably seen before in other vans, but like I say, I fitted them myself. I fitted little buttons myself, and there are some in the back. I've got these nice little storage patches that fit underneath there. They're standard little storage plastic boxes. Everything's got stuff in. I've got USB, I've got a little first aid kit, I've got all my USB sockets and plugs and everything in the far one, because obviously when you're out videoing and doing photography and drones and stuff, you need lots of chargers, which is why I've got lots of charging points as well. So let's take you around the back of the van and I'll show you around there. So underneath here we've got a reversing camera as well, which is dead nice. Underneath here, great big door, which is great, and the reason I wanted the Tourneo with a lift on it is when it's raining I can actually hide underneath here, and at some point I'm going to be getting an awning that's going to drape over the top of this and gives me the extra space. So in the back here I've normally got my bedding hanging here, but we've been using it at home. We've got a spare blanket in case we need one in there, set of pillows all covered up so that they don't get wet. We've got wheel chocks, standard toolkit, you know, with different bits and pieces we might need, and of course my man's potty. Couldn't go anywhere without me potty. Really do need it. Nice little storage area to keep me wellies. Down here we've got our gas. That's all inside there. Gas there with a vent in the floor. And we've got wheel chocks and tow rope and bits and pieces that we might need if we ever get stuck anywhere. I keep all my walking sticks and everything down the side here, held in with a little plastic pot. And again, I've got 2 more hooks. These are designed so that something else I've made, these are designed that if I get any wet coats, I can put a plastic sheet over the back of the seats and just hang some wet coats in the back here and move all this out of the way. Just a way of keeping dry and wet stuff away from each other. Here I've got a pair of my socks just drying out that I've had on my wellies. Again with a little push button, just like so. Pops it out, little clip, and I can clip towels on or clip my socks on and things like that on the back. These are my sealskin socks and they tend to get wet because I use them in water. Again, we've got one more storage area in the back here. Somewhere to keep Denise's wellies, we've got a table, we've got a bucket, we've got chairs and power cables and all sorts of things. I've actually got a 24 volt power socket in there as well, so if I want to hook up and I want some proper electricity for anything, I can hook it up and leave it through the window in the front, and I've got some vents on the front so that I can actually drop it down. But that's the inside of the back of the van, very simple, nice little bit of space there, the seat all falls down. I've also had these as well fitted. These are fantastic. When they've got the van open at night and I've got tailgate open, I can actually turn these on, and I've got these 3 little LED lights that just drop down onto the floor so you can actually see what you're doing underneath the van. Quite a good idea of mine, wasn't it? So that's the inside of the van. Again, window blinds, standard fitting, all insulated and soundproofed underneath. So that gets rid of the back of the van, which is quite standard really. Of course, YouTube, got to have a sticker on. We've also got our landscape photography sticker, so if you ever see me out, come and give me a shout. Right, what else have we got? The awning. You've seen the awning, like I say, you've seen the awning before now, but we'll just explain it anyway. There's my awning, the handle, open the door and wind it down. We've got foldable mirrors, which is quite nice. I can lock the van and the mirrors fold in, which is really quite a treat. I get my mirrors folding in. It's a bit of a treat really. It doesn't happen on all vans, but I've had them wired up specially to do that. I'll show you my little button inside as well. Let's just open the doors again because I've locked myself out. Where are we? Right. So inside there's my little button for locking my door. Very flush, very simple and easy. I've also got a little hoover in here, great for hoovering the windows, absolutely fantastic gadget. And of course you don't really need to see everything that's inside the van, but if I'm going to show you around it, I might just point it out. We have got a mounting bracket for a camera so that I can video myself inside. We've also got a set of sockets. I have a radio so I can radio outside as well. We've got a set of USB sockets that I fitted into the bottom there, and plug sockets and stuff, and it all works off this little socket at the front. So that's basically the inside of the van. Very simple, air conditioning, front camera. We got all sorts of gadgets. It's quite nice. So one other addition to the front of the van is around here. I'll show you on the front. We have got this little thing down here. This is an LED light bar. I converted all the lights and I put in an LED light bar. And the idea of the LED light bar is it just gives me that extra light when I'm down in the dark lanes. I've converted all the lights to LEDs. All of these now are LED lights, all nice and bright, and really do put out the light when I'm driving into a lot of dark places where there isn't any street lights. So that's basically the outside of the van, apart from one other addition. ARI fitted some rather chunky, knobbly sort of style tyres, and these are 4-season tyres. And the idea of these is they've got thread on the outside, and they're supposed to help you, and they're supposed to be really good in snow and mud and stuff like that. I kept the standard wheels, I didn't want anything too fancy on it, so but having these really big knobbly tyres on there makes quite a bit of difference to traction and getting around in dodgy conditions. I hope that explains my van a little bit. I hope that explains the van. That's everything I've got in the van. Pretty much everything I've got. I can't think of anything else to say. Again, I love the van. It's a Ford. It's easy for getting parts on. It's quite reliable. It's got sensors all the way around it, parking sensors. It really is quite a nice van to drive. And yeah, hopefully now it answers all your questions to what I had done, how I had it done, and where I had it done. You know, this is a lot of money spent on this little bus, and yeah, we've had quite a few different gadgets fitted to it. And again, like I say, I've done a lot of bits and pieces myself as well. So yeah, there's my van. Any questions, I'll try and answer them for you. If you want to know anything as well, give me a shout and I'll let you know where I've got it from, and where you can purchase it from. So till next time, and another adventure. I'll see you soon. Just got to put this little thing away now. Time to go home, get myself some mince pies and things, because this is still Christmas. Ciao.